بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. One of the greatest benefits of the remembrance of Allah is that Allah Azza wa Jal remembers us in return. And He says about this that وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ, Allah's remembrance of you is greater than any favor or bounty you can wish for or you can hope for. فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ, remember me, I will remember you. Imagine if there is someone that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is remembering. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is remembering him. How can that person ever lose? They cannot. How can that person ever fail? They cannot. That person is constantly under the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because Allah Azza wa Jalla is remembering him. And as for those who neglect Allah, then on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say that you didn't remember me, so I won't remember you either. I won't be mindful of you. People were reminded with the verses of Allah, with the signs of Allah, but they did not want to take that into consideration. They did not want that to be a part of their lives. وَإِذَا ذُكِّرُوا لَا يَذْكُرُونَ, they're reminded but they don't remember. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to remember Him in all circumstances. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ ذِكْرًا كَثِيرًا وَسَبِّحُوهُ بُكْرَةً وَأَصِيلًا. Remember Allah profusely, glorify Him every morning and in the later part of the day. And He says, look, He is constantly sending His mercy on you. هُوَ الَّذِي يُصَلِّي عَلَيْكُمْ وَمَلَائِكَتُهُ لِيُخْرِجَكُمْ مِنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is constantly sending mercy, and His angels are making dua for the people of Iman. يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, they are making istighfar for the people of Iman. رَبَّنَا وَسِعْتَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ رَحْمَةً وَعِلْمًا فَاغْفِرْ لِلَّذِينَ تَابُوا وَاتَّبَعُوا سَبِيلَكَ وَقِهِمْ عَذَابَ الْجَحِيمِ. The angels around the arsh are constantly making dua. So when we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we become the first recipients of those duas. When we become unmindful of Allah, it's like we have thrown that part of our life away. In fact, there will be no regrets in Jannah. No regrets except for one. And that one regret that the people even in Jannah will have to live with is those moments in life that they spent without the remembrance of Allah. Because they will see what the results of every second of remembrance were, what every second of remembering Allah gave them, what immense and everlasting rewards they had. So they will wish that even a moment had not passed from their lives without remembering Allah Azza wa Jal. And like I said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to remember Him in all circumstances. He says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِذَا لَقِيتُمْ فِئَةً فَاثْبُتُوا وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. You go into battle, stay firm, but engage in the dhikr of Allah. Even in battle, do the dhikr of Allah. فَإِذَا أَفَضْتُم مِّنْ عَرَفَاتٍ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ عِنْدَ الْمَشْعَرِ الْحَرَامِ. You're performing Hajj, you finish at Arafah, going towards Muzdalifah, do the dhikr of Allah. وَاذْكُرُوهُ كَمَا هَدَاكُمْ. Again, remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And فَإِذَا قَضَيْتُم مَنَاسِكَكُمْ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ. Again, once you finish all the rites of Hajj, again remember Allah. And وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْدُودَاتٍ. Again remember Allah. So many times, over and over and over again, remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. About salat, He says, أَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِي. Establish salah for my remembrance, for the sake of remembering me. So salat is all about remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Zakaria alayhi salam is about to have a boy. He doesn't know when that time is going to come, so he asks Allah for a sign. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him a sign, but He says, look, وَاذْكُرْ رَبَّكَ كَثِيرًا وَسَبِّحْ بِالْعَشِيِّ وَالْإِبْكَارِ. of all the qualities of the believing men and women that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions together, إِنَّ الْمُسْلِمِينَ وَالْمُسْلِمَاتِ وَالْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ وَالْقَانِتِينَ وَالْقَانِتَاتِ وَالصَّادِقِينَ وَالصَّادِقَاتِ وَالصَّابِرِينَ وَالصَّابِرَاتِ وَالْخَاشِعِينَ وَالْخَاشِعَاتِ وَالْمُتَصَدِّقِينَ وَالْمُتَصَدِّقَاتِ وَالصَّائِمِينَ وَالصَّائِمَاتِ وَالْحَافِظِينَ فُرُوجَهُمْ وَالْحَافِظَاتِ. At the end, what does he end it with? وَالذَّاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَالذَّاكِرَاتِ. Ulama have mentioned that only those people will be able to bring all of these qualities in their lives who have the quality of the dhikr of Allah. The people of Iman remember Allah profusely, and then there's another category of people that run away from the remembrance of Allah. We never want to be a part of them. Who are they? إن المنافقين يخادعون الله وهو خادعهم وإذا قاموا إلى الصلاة قاموا كسالى يراءون الناس ولا يذكرون الله إلا قليلا. It was the hypocrites. When it was time for salat, they would rise very, very slowly, very lazily towards their salat. Do we really have to do this? Okay, fine, they're watching, I guess we're going to have to. And when it comes to the remembrance of Allah, only if they were on record, if someone was going to notice if they didn't. Otherwise, no remembrance of Allah. That's why when it's time for salat, we should stand up quickly, quietly, attentively, focus, rushing towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we're doing the tasbihat after salat, every single person should be doing the tasbihat. Doing the dhikr of Allah is a sign of a believer. Not doing the dhikr of Allah is a sign of that other group that I just mentioned. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us away from them. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in.